Thank you so much for staying with us on the program. Well, the sums of monies and the ones that are recovered and the issues raised gets us talking on the program today. Join the conversation on Twitter, hashtag looted phones, tweet at CTV Politics or at Sheung Okin. Let's get some more perspectives to the matter now. Joining me to discuss this issue is the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Many thanks for joining us on the program, Mr. Adesina. First and foremost, let me ask, a lot of Nigerians are concerned about the health of the President. How is he now? Because he was expected to launch the Ogoni cleanup on Thursday, but the Vice President had to represent him. Stories about his illness. Is he okay now?
Well, it doesn't. That issue does not arise. The question, is he okay now, does not arise because he had always been okay. The President is as right as rain. Nothing wrong with him.
Okay, because a lot of people are thinking I was supposed to be in Lagos for the launch of some project in Lagos State. The Vice President represented him also. You told us just here last week that the President by himself would be in Ogoni, but it's not there. So I guess a lot of Nigerians are asking the question, is their President? They have the right to know, of course, the state of health of their President. I guess that's one of the reasons.
Yes, well, in a democracy, particularly in a presidential democracy, the President can always devolve duties to his deputy, who is the Vice President, and that is what the President has done. But it's not because of ill health. The President is fine.
I guess we're having an issue with your audio for a moment. We try to correct that. But let's come to the Lagos studio now, where Mr. Shegun Sowunmi joins us. Thanks so much, Mr. Sowunmi, for coming on the program. This list is something a lot of Nigerians are expecting, and it has come. What are your thoughts when you came across the list of the looted funds?
Grossly embarrassed.
How?
First of all, when you want to do anti-corruption, especially when it's the main thing that you were campaigning with as a government coming to power, you will expect that after about a year, and you've done a lot of media trials of people, you were not cautious, and you were not afraid of releasing figures attached to people's names in the media before you got to court, before you got trial commenced, before you got them either pronounced guilty or innocent. And you did this for like a year. And then you came and said, okay, on a particular day at a particular time in a particular season, you are going to list out all of those people that have taken our Commonwealth and our money. And then you come to the table. You put some figures together. No one can ascertain absolutely how true they are. For if you say I've refunded $1 billion and you put my name to it, and if I've only given you 500 million, I can always come up and say, no, that's not true. So we're not really able to investigate precisely what's going on here. That's the first part. The second part is that, you see, when you have a nation of hypocrites, what you will get is a system that seems to suggest that there is always a perpetual whipping boy. This is a nation where we all agree that corruption is an issue, and one of the things that anybody will remotely expect the president to be able to do is fight corruption, but fight it systematically. What have they done? They've come with some figures that comes from some of the finance organizations abroad that suggest that it could be monies to do with the Abacha loot. They've come with some monies and some headings there that could suggest that VAT that accrues to companies that would have ordinarily been given anyway. They've come with figures there that, I tell you, it's just unfortunate. It suggests that they are even incapable of doing that which everybody thinks they have capacity for.
Are you aghast sometimes when people talk about Nigeria and the fact that we may be one of the most corrupt nations of the world?
I think everybody is embarrassed about the tag that comes over our head as a nation, but I think most of it is also self-imposed criminal branding by ourselves. You cannot be the president of the biggest country in Africa, the most vibrant economy in Africa, and you go to every speaking opportunities you have in the world, and you're the first person telling the world that your people are corrupt, they're this corrupt, there's this level of corruption there. Then you encourage that kind of...
Just if I may ask you, and
Yes.
if your government, Nigerian government, that is, comes forward to say it has recovered close to 3 trillion naira from corruption,
Yes.
and you're not proud of that?
No. There's what would have made us proud would have been to list out the names of those who have returned this money, that we may name them to shame them. Let me tell you what it has done. What it has done is that it has stereotyped anybody and everybody that ever worked in government in the time, especially the last administration, as thieves. That's a very major indictment.
Because the recoveries were from 2015
because they didn't mention the names. What would have been honorable and good and professional would have been to tell us that we got this from Mr. Y, we got this from Mr. Z, so that those that are not corrupt and those that are not indicted can at least recover some of their integrity that had been soiled as a result of generalization. And I ask you, who goes to a corruption exercise that for a whole country and pretends as if nothing happened from his own party, especially at the state, local government, and some other level? So you will be wondering if this is all they got to show after 1 year. They're not even able to get any reasonable conviction except for the one man that was convicted, whose trial has started before they came in. You see, we must make up our mind what we want to do.
So are you saying that without the names, the integrity of the recoveries is lost?
How do you even know that the figures are true? It calls to question the honesty and integrity of those who are brandishing the figures.
You mean the figures, it might just be mere figures, the money's might not be there.
When people are under...
Are you saying the figures, it might just be figures without the money?
When government makes it a habit to flippant and filibuster on things that they have to be concrete about, the integrity of the whole process gets called into question. Who's going to tell me who's going to even tell you yourself that money is true? Who can say? If you must come to equity, you must come clean. You cannot say you got money from people. If they willingly surrender the money, their names are in your file. What would have been honorable, what would have been appropriate, what Nigerians would have wanted to see are those names. For instance,
do you believe people were returning monies?
At every change in government in the course of our country, the one that we can remember, there's always been one change, one return of money or the other. As at the time General Obasanjo came into government in 1999, a substantial amount of the return of money was done around the Abacha loot. Do you know what is funny? Many years after, everybody is still talking about the Abachas. What about those who have ruled before him? What about those that ruled between himself and Jonathan? So we're now going to be a nation that will tell the whole world that we've had a lot of presidents, we've had a lot of national security advisors, but only 2 of them are deserving to be put through the scrutiny of investigation of their office. Abacha, the dead one, and Jonathan, the one that is gentle.
All right, let's take a moment now. And when we return, we'll talk more about this matter. But when we'll be asking ourselves, where will these monies be plowed into? That's next. Join us again.